Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on this dark and gloomy day. It's raining outside. Fucking sucks. It is fall weather. That's a very good point. I'm, of course, Gregor Guy, joined here by Mr. Casey and Mr. Cuz. I just want to get this out of the way first. Shit. Fuck. Cocksucker motherfucking tits.
Well, I tried.
Anyway, here we are for the next iteration of Baghead Financial. Let me go ahead and kick this off with a quick market recap. The Dow is at 36.1K. The NASDAQ is at 15.88K. The S&P is at 46.82 and some change. All those, by the way, over the week are down. Crypto market cap, total market cap, because that's the only metric we have to go by, is actually up to 2.79 trillion, up from 2.73 last week. So, that being said, let's move on to stories and information and whatnot. I'm going to start off with, obviously, oil. The price of oil has apparently gone down over the course of the week. My question to you two is, why are we not seeing that price change at the gas pump?
Yeah.
It does take time for, between the oil barrel and the price of gas, it does fluctuate. But it does take time for the price of the gas pump to reflect the price of the barrel.
To the refinement process
Right.
and everything. Yeah, I mean...
Not that I think it matters. I think the
makes
price
sense,
of oil
but
is controlled.
just for historical reference, the last time that gasoline in our area, in particular, this is all I'm going off of, was at the current price that it was, the price of oil a barrel was $120 a barrel. It's 82 right now.
It's controlled. It's in my personal opinion, it's 100% controlled.
Plus, what about the workers and stuff right now? Like, aren't people getting paid more right now because there's not too many
You
people
can also
working?
say that the cost of transportation is also a lot higher now, and that you have to pay. Yeah, you're right. You have to pay people more to get moved stuff, so that might also reflect in the price of gasoline.
Okay, what?
There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff to that.
On a side note on that, if the price of transportation keeps going up because the price of gas keeps going up, does not that just spiral out of control at some point in time?
It's obviously inflation is spiraling out of control. There,
Not even inflation.
right?
It's
Well, it also is part of inflation.
The cost of
I
materials.
know. I don't remember exactly how much per gallon it was, but I only have a 15-gallon tank, and it cost me $50 to fill it up yesterday.
yeah, and keep in mind back in 2009, 10, it might even been like 12. Don't quote me on the year, but that was like when gas was like at its all-time high, which basically almost cost us around our way like $3 and I want to say 75 cents a gallon,
Yeah, something
which a
like
lot
that.
of people would be like, that ain't shit.
Yeah, depending on where you
At
live.
the same point in time, we are creeping very close to those same numbers. Which, I'm glad you brought that up, because we're going to move on to inflation. Inflation, reported by the CPI, which I will go ahead and say is a government-regulated, I don't even necessarily want to say facility, but a reporting index, something like that. They are saying that inflation has hit a 31-year high at 6.2% over the course of this particular year. My question on this would be, if this is only what they are reporting, is the inflation rate actually higher than, the numbers that they have provided?
I can't say that it's higher. All I can say is that this was This was an obvious thing that was going to happen. When you shut the country down it was only supposed to be for 2 weeks, and it continued on for months and months. And you have people not working. You have products not being moved. You have products not being created. Basically, you had a complete shutdown of the economy. So inflation was inevitable to start with, and it's going to take a long time for even if it does bounce back out. It's going to take a long time.
100% agree with that. Your opinions?
I think inflation is happening right now because they're dumping money in like the stimulus checks and stuff like that. They're just giving people free money. There's no work really going on besides like.
I don't think I've gotten a stimulus check for a year.
Yeah,
so.
You haven't, but other people have. I think they're still giving stimulus checks out to this day, aren't they?
The last thing I got, I think it was like $600, and I think it was just after the last election. So
there's people still getting stimulus checks.
I don't know who's getting stimulus checks. I mean,
if you're out there and you're getting a stimulus check, let us know down in the comments below.
do you know if it's like unemployed or?
I'm not sure. I've seen articles where like, oh, the 6th wave of stimulus checks coming in. These people are qualified. I didn't read the article.
Okay.
Did that come up on your feed? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that was an ad.
Well,
all right. Okay, fair
either
enough.
way, I bet you there's still stimulus checks being given out to people.
No, that would have to come from the federal treasury. Yeah. Anyway.
We both don't know.
Moving on. Let's get through this. We're going to talk about our favorite entrepreneur, Elon Musk. He decided to propose a Twitter poll that incorporated selling 10% of his Tesla stock. I guess you can go ahead and assume what the outcome of that Twitter poll was, because he sold that shit, and Tesla went down like 5% in the market, so on and so forth, whatnot. But I don't know if you know this or not, but the reason that he sold this stock was to cover taxes on stock options he had from 2018 from that contract in order to cover I guess the whatever profit margin or so on and so forth, as far as when the company hit $1 trillion, which it did, by the way, this particular year, in order to buy back in. So, I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to a lot of people.
He's the first trillionaire, isn't he?
Who?
No, there's other trillionaires.
I don't think anyone is a trillionaire. I don't think anyone is a trillionaire right now.
Well, he hit a
The
trillion.
company, Tesla, the entire company is worth $1 trillion.
Okay. I thought he was.
No. I don't think any one specific person is worth $1 trillion.
I'd have to.
Could be wrong.
I'd have to look into that.
If you know someone who is worth $1 trillion, let us know down in the comments.
Or if you were worth.
I thought so.
If you're worth $1 trillion, motherfucking call me.
I heard that he had like some kind of beef going on the internet about him solving world hunger, and I thought that's why he was selling his Tesla stocks.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty much just like a spin story.
Okay. Well, I do know that he said that he would solve world hunger if the UN could show what they were, if they were open and showing what they were doing with the money.
Okay, all right. Well, now, granted, let me retrace. It might not have necessarily been a spin story because he sold like 10% of his Tesla stock, right? Which was worth something in the neighborhood of like 5.69 billion.
Right.
The stock options that he needed to cover was only 1.1 billion. What he did with the other 4, who knows? Elon Musk, if you're out there, once again, reach out. Let us know what you did with that other $4 billion.
I do know that you cannot solve, if you're just buying food and giving it to people, you're not solving world.
Well, I mean, I would assume they would more or less be like going to create like infrastructure and,
right.
and so on and so forth. I mean, we're on the same page with that.
Okay.
Yes, you can't just buy $4 billion worth of food and be like, oh, I solved world hunger. Okay. In the month of September, there has been record-setting resignations in the United States of America. People are just saying, fuck work. I can go do other things and make more money than I could going to like a 9 to 5 or 40-hour-a-week job, let's just say.
Plus.
Yeah. So I'm curious as to what all of your opinions are on this.
I think that there's 2 steps, 2 reasons for this. Number 1, during the lockdowns, people weren't allowed to work. People get restless, they get at home.
Some people.
Right, some people. So they get restless, they get at home, and they learn to make money from home. Okay? So that's one thing. That's something that if they were just on their humdrum day, just doing their thing, working their 40 hours a week, they may have never even found this out. And number 2, inflation is getting so high to the point where people that were working those 15-hour or $15 jobs or less are finding out that they can't make ends meet working those kinds of jobs. So what's the point of working those jobs anyways?
It's fair enough. What are your opinions on that?
I agree with him with the whole routine thing and everybody finally being able to sit down and think about what's going on because they're not working, and then finding alternatives and being like, screw this. Like, why am I working to barely make it by every day? Why would you do that? And they were, like you said, they were stuck in the routine and not really thinking about it, kind of on like autopilot, basically, until they got forced to sit home and ponder their life.
Right. And also think about this, okay? A lot of the people that were still going out there and working during these lockdowns, so on and so forth, and everything, were probably more or less some of the smarter individuals that we have in, like, the particular, like, workforce and everything. So what if they were forced to do that? How would the balance of, like, you know, monetary stabilization, like, shift? You can't even answer that, can you?
I don't think that they're smarter. I think they might be more motivated type people, but I wouldn't call them smarter.
Okay, yeah, all right. Fair enough. More motivated, yes. More motivated. And also, that also depends on, I guess, what whether the CISA, which is another government regulatory agency, define you as an essential worker or not.
Right. That's what it comes down to right there.
I think that was more of like a corporate thing, to be honest with you. Because you could think, let's say, all right, so we were supposed to do 2 weeks complete shutdown, so nobody spread. Yet liquor stores and Walmarts and Amazon's still running, and supermarkets I mean, obviously, the repair fields and stuff like that were still going. But if it was supposed to be a true 2-week lockdown to stop the spread, every single thing should have been shut down.
Except for like nurses and doctors and hospitals.
Right.
Well, at the same point in time, it would be a full lockdown, but that's not what we are discussing here.
Okay.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the third episode of this point of Bang Head Financial. I'm, of course, Gregor Guy, joined here by Mr. Cuz and Mr. Casey. Everyone out there watching, have a